Hello, everybody. This is Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research, and I'm back for day 12 of the 12 days of Cloudbased. And I'm here joined with Anthony Bartolo, the EVP and Chief Product Officer for Avaya. Say hello, Anthony.
Hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here, Zeus.
Now, day 12 is 12 drummers drumming. So did you bring your drums?
It's just under my desk here. Let me just pull them out, or should I save it for later?
Save them for later. Okay, well,
Right.
We'll see the drummers drumming later. You'll actually be the 13th drummer drumming. Now, Anthony, you're with Avaya, and Avaya is a pretty interesting company. It's been around a long time, right? We've had this big pivot of cloud-based communications because of COVID, and Avaya is actually, you've got the largest install base in the industry. A lot of people may not know that. So why don't you tell me a little bit about Avaya and the customers you serve?
Sure. We're the largest pure-play UC&CC company that's out there right now, and we're actually a customer experience company. We create experiences that matter for our customers. Public company, obviously, been around for quite a while. We develop a lot of innovation inside the company. We achieve about a patent, one every working day. So just gives you the view of where we're at. We're about 4,400 patents. So we know the space pretty well, a lot of good domain experience. Basically in the bulk of the Fortune 5,000 customers, and it's my second time around. So this is my 1-year anniversary of being back in the company. So
congratulations on that. So you might have of all the cloud communications companies, you might have the largest install base, but also the largest patent base as well. So that's certainly something notable in this industry. Now we're using a product here called Avaya Spaces. Obviously. A lot of your customers are using this product because of the pandemic. It may not be as well known as some of the other products that we hear about all the time. So give us a brief introduction to what we're looking at here and what we're using.
Well, Spaces is our workstream collaboration product. So it's basically the front end to all of our collaboration products. So it's the agent or the desktop, and the client for our Aura base, all of our customer base, as well as ultimately becoming the client for our CC base as well. So we see UC and CC and those capabilities really are about employee experience and customer experience. And there are capabilities that are delivered in a contact center that we think could also be delivered in the UC space, and doing that through a singular workstream collaboration tool and capability. Allows us to do obviously audio, video, web conferencing, but more importantly, it's asynchronous messaging as well. So we're in one room. I can jump over to another room on the tool and have a whole separate conversation, and I can jump back. And I can come back in 2 months' time, and we don't lose the material that's been discussed. There's persistence in collaboration that obviously persists. So it's a big tool for us and our customers.
Well, that's interesting, because that's been one of the complaints people have had about some of the free products out there, is they use it, and then when the conversation is done, all the data is gone, and so you lose some of that data. So that's great. That, from a business perspective, obviously that's important. Now, one of the things you guys, Avaya, announced with Spaces a few months ago was the introduction of a bunch of AI features using a partner, NVIDIA, their Maxine product. And they announced that actually a couple of months before that at their GPU technology conference. So there's been a lot of chatter about AI in this industry. So give us a sense of what Maxine is and the capabilities that people can expect to see coming to Spaces soon.
Sure, I think we were their first partner, to be quite honest, and helped them test it out. And the product GA's in the January timeframe from NVIDIA, and you'll see it in the product. It's basically a unique way of delivering AI. So we have lots of different AI capabilities across our product portfolio, because we believe that what we're delivering are experiences that matter. And you deliver experiences that matter by providing insights, and providing those insights at the point where they matter. And that manifests in a better customer experience, a better meeting or a more efficient meeting, and better decision making for enterprises. When it comes to using the NVIDIA product inside something like Spaces, what we're actually doing is we're taking AI capabilities and delivering them from a network perspective. We don't have to depend on the client or the the device that the user might be using, whether it's their iPhone or their iPad or a PC or their Mac. But we take that all out of the equation and we're doing it at the network. We're centralizing, centrally doing some of the AI. So we can blur out the background, we can change the background, we can do noise suppression. But we do that independent of whether the end device is capable of doing it, because we're doing it at the center of the network. So therefore, if you don't have a mobile device that has the horsepower to do it or the capability to do it, we just take that dependency off the equation. So it's just some of the things that we can do. Obviously, translation and recording and all those cool things we can do at any point in time.
Yeah, the cloud-based feature there of streaming those features down is pretty cool, because I know one of the competitor products was one of the first to launch virtual backgrounds, but you couldn't use it on low-end laptops,
Bingo.
Including something like a MacBook Air, which to the price point isn't really low-end.
Definitely not. And if you think about it, we're taking away. Look, what COVID's done is it's taken our end constituents away from a controlled environment to an uncontrolled environment, right? And when you do that, lots of things happen. By definition, it's uncontrolled. So an IT department has difficulty, they're dealing with all these complaints or concerns that are coming in, and a lot of them are not in their control. And a lot of it is because the environment's fundamentally changed, what device they're using, all the different variants. This takes away all the variants. You centrally manage that, right? And you've reduced not only those issues that are coming in as a result of different variants, but you've reduced the costs of deploying those things as well, because now you don't have to change the endpoints or do things by trial by error.
Yeah, you've actually democratized those AI capabilities, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that this is being delivered out of the network or from the cloud, and I'm assuming you can do that because you are a cloud company. I think if we were to talk about Avaya a couple of years ago, I think the description of Avaya was you were a large communication company that really relied on on-premises infrastructure, for its sales model. But very quickly, actually, the company has made the pivot to cloud. In fact, the last time I saw your CEO on Kramer, Jim Kramer called you guys a cloud company. So tell us how that happened so quickly. The time period in which you guys did this was really fast.
Well, yeah, thank you for giving us the credit of that. I think, you don't have to go back too far where we were called an on-prem company. It was about a year, a bit less than a year. And in that course of time, we've done quite a few things. The first is, coming into the company, the first thing you normally do is you take inventory of what you have. And we've got this plethora of assets. But we also took an inventory of our customers. Not only the customer themselves on where they're at today, but also where they wanted to be. And, there were 4 places that they wanted to be. They wanted to be either on-prem and remain on-prem, or they wanted to be in the cloud, and that could be a private version of the cloud or a public version of the cloud, or they wanted to be a hybrid. And then what we set out to do was say, okay, this is where they are today, this is where they want to go. That's called customer journey mapping, and we've mapped that journey to a roadmap, and we've executed on the roadmap. So now we can offer a customer, even if they're an install-based customer, let's just take a brownfield customer and say, look, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the cloud? If so, which one, public, private? Or do you want to be hybrid, or do you want to stay on-prem? And we've given them a path. And that customer now has no reason to stay like a frog on that lily pad. They can jump to any one of those journeys without any material risk onto moving down that path, right? And that's been a fantastic sort of journey, and that's what we've seen our customers do. We've done it not only technically, we've also done it commercially, so they can commercially move down that path really quickly. And what we've seen is the take-up rate on our cloud consumption models has sort of gone through the roof. And that's why you've seen us grow over this year. The company hasn't grown in years, and for the first year in a row, we've just gone quarter after quarter from strength to strength, and we're watching ourselves grow. And what comes with that is a responsibility, and that roadmap reflects that responsibility. So we're excited by it. The street recognizes it, but more importantly, our customers recognize it, and that's been great.
Yeah, well, congratulations. And I know I work with a lot of customers, and the shift from whatever they have to the cloud can be fairly complicated, and sometimes it paralyzes their decision-making process. But it sounds like your path is much more customer-friendly, I suppose, is the way to put it, because you let them do it on their own terms. Now, you had mentioned something that I thought was sort of an interesting term. In our industry, we have contact center companies that deal with customer experience. We have unified communication companies that deal with employee experience. We have very few that offer both. Some do it through partnerships, right? But you said customer experience and employee experience are coming together. So double click on that and explain what you meant by that and why that's important. Because I don't think our industry thinks that those two things are the same thing.
Yeah, look, I think we're in an experience economy. And we're right for the first time, or maybe not for the first time, maybe this is a renaissance for our industry, where we are front and center of an experience economy. And COVID, in a way, has exemplified that. Many enterprises, their bricks and mortar avenues to their customers have basically closed down. So there's no headquarters, there's no branch offices, and there's no storefronts. So what is the technology that people are using to create those experiences now for their customers, their partners, their vendors, right, and their own employees? It's our technology. It's a UC, or we traditionally would call it a UC technology, or a contact center technology, which is becoming a context center technology because of all the insights that are being driven from those things. And they are the digital front door in which they're coming into any and every enterprise when every enterprise has been effectively in lockdown. When they're in lockdown, look, I'm sitting in the office, but let me tell you, I'm the only guy here in our office. I make a point of coming into our office. We turned our 8,000 enterprise employees and they went home the very next day. And that was that we didn't miss a beat. Why? Because we were power users. This is the space that we've been in for a long time. That's not the case for the rank and file enterprise. And right now, the rank and file enterprises are becoming power users at a very rapid rate, actually overnight. They've gone from, I'm a power user in the office, to now I'm a power user at home, and now they're using the parts of the tool that are fundamentally important. And it started out as a work from home, but it really became work from anywhere really quickly as they moved to different parts of the country or to their second homes or whatever it may be, to becoming a business continuity conversation. Because every CIO and every CEO I speak to, they now have prioritized their digital investments to the point where we are mission critical. We could have this, look, we're having a great video conversation here now, but quite frankly, you and I could have this conversation if we lost the video component, right? The voice is really important at the end of the day, or those other channels coming in. So we are effectively the avenues to that enterprise, and that is an experience on its own. So maximizing and prioritizing those experiences and making them as optimal as possible, that's a name of the game today, because that is the avenue to those constituents. So we're in the game. We're mission critical in that game, and we've been prioritized by many enterprises. So I don't think it's an event. I really do think it's a trend, especially after talking to many CEOs. I think it's a multi-year trend as well.
Yeah, well, you heard it here first from the company that's got the largest install base of large enterprises, the coming together of CX and EX. So with just a couple of minutes left, real quick, this is thought leadership time of the year because it's the end of 2020. Give us a prediction for 2021. What's something that we should expect?
Well, I don't think the 5-day work week is coming back. 5-day work from the office week is coming back anytime soon. I really do think that people have realized now that that productivity from different environments is actually quite possible. So I think people will come back into the office, God willing, and technology willing, and vaccine willing, I definitely mean to say. And I think people will come into the office, and I think they'll come in maybe 3 days a week, because they'll want that collaboration face to face. We are social creatures. We do want to collaborate. But I also think that maybe it's a Tuesday through Thursday, right? Or maybe it's every second day, and the corporate culture will determine that. I just don't think people are going to rush back and do the 5-day week type of thing. I also don't think that HR organizations are going to demand that you work out of a head office anymore. I think that's going to be taboo for at least for a little while, where it's a prerequisite to to miss out on talent because they happen to not sit in a corporate hub. And likewise, it goes vice versa too. You may lose talent if you don't, if you make that a prerequisite as well. So I think the makeup of the talent and where they reside around the world is going to be a much, it's going to be much looser and much more available as well. That talent is more accessible a lot more through technology such as this.
Yeah, I actually think the combination of technology and the decoupling of talent from location will have a big societal difference in that you're democratizing opportunity. So that's pretty exciting stuff. So anyways, Anthony, we're coming up to the end of the video. So unfortunately, we don't have time for you to drum. So hopefully they're not going to go to waste. But on behalf of Anthony Bartolo, EVP and Chief Product Officer at Avaya, I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research, wishing everybody a happy holidays and a happy Cloudmas.
Happy holidays.